Good evening, everybody. Today I would like to talk about Mohammed and draw Quran Day. Or is it the other way around? Now, I fully understand the sentiment and ideology behind it. Freedom of speech and all that. And I wholeheartedly agree with those sentiments and ideologies. However, it is all well and good that we can sit here in the West with our Bills of Rights, our constitutions, and our westernized legal systems and civilized forms of government, and do these things. But as the events of recent weeks have shown us, these things can have serious implications in other parts of the world, where things like the Quran and the Prophet Muhammad are taken a little more seriously. Yes, I agree that in this day and age it is utterly ridiculous that a rampaging mob should storm an embassy and decapitate the people who work there, in response to somebody burning a book on the other side of the world. I agree that the constant pleas for special treatment and consideration for their backward, outdated desert mythology is out of the question. You have no argument with me over that one. But burning their holy books and creating depictions of their prophet, well, that's just guaranteed to rub them up the wrong way, and will ultimately end up with them banning access to the internet in Islamic countries and going on yet another one of their murderous rampages. What's more, when you start proposing that kind of stuff, you will inevitably end up appealing to the right-wing nutjobs who are not just doing it for freedom of speech, but rather because they just really don't like Muslims. And you run the very real risk with being associated with that kind of sentiment, and your original message being lost. So, what I propose is that on May the 20th, we hold the first annual Don't Draw Mohammed Day. Okay, I know what you're thinking, but hear me out. Islam, as with all other hokey pokey, mumbo jumbo, dark age twaddle, should have absolutely no place in modern society, let alone be in the spotlight when determining matters of government, matters that will affect the lives of millions. With Draw Mohammed Day, you are not just opposing a set of preposterous ideas. Those ideas fail when subjected to scrutiny all by themselves. No, with Draw Mohammed Day, you are engaging Muslims directly. You are ultimately directing your actions towards the followers of Islam, and not just the ideas behind Islam itself, demonstrating the rights that you have and that they don't. Draw Mohammed Day is about making the statement that you have the freedom to draw Muhammad, regardless of what some 1500-year-old book says, and there is nothing that anyone in the Islamic world can do about it. The truth is that the Quran says nothing about whether you are allowed to draw Muhammad or not. Rather, it is the Hadith, the traditions recorded by various followers about what the Prophet said and did that prohibits depictions of not just Muhammad, but all people and animals. Which is why Islamic art is dominated by calligraphy, floral designs and abstract artwork. In the Hadith, the penalty for disobeying these rules is one meted out by Allah himself on the Day of Judgment, and not death as is so widely believed by so many, and often called for by those that follow fundamentalist Islam. Rather, the protests that surround the depictions of Muhammad are more concerned with a disrespect for Islam, rather than a depiction of the Prophet. Drawing Muhammad simply gives them something to focus on as a subject of their anger and disapproval. Personally, I don't find anything about Islam that demands my respect, and that is why I am not going to be drawing Muhammad this year. This year, on May the 20th, I propose that we show our disregard for Islam and its adherents by simply holding up a blank piece of paper to camera and saying that, although I could draw Muhammad if I wanted to, I don't consider Muhammad to be special, and I find his teachings to be irrelevant, and that is why I am not even going to bother going out of my way to insult them. Let us exercise our freedom of speech by giving them nothing that they can complain about other than our complete ambivalence. A demonstration of how little we consider their superstitions to be relevant to our modern lives here in the 21st century. Let us see how those crazy bastards handlers doing nothing to insult them or their prophet, other than to show that we don't even give enough credence to their batshit crazy beliefs to be bothered to disrespect or insult them.